Man, LBK, did y'all hear that? That was Renee Good's girlfriend, Becca. She said, "Why did you have real bullets?" Man, I hate to tell you this, but the bottom line up front, the National Democratic Party's tactics and the media, which is amplifying those tactics, is what got this young lady, Miss Good, killed.
Get ready for news and views from Lubbock, Texas, USA. What's going on and real talk with people who move and do things. This is the Focus LBK Show with your host, Robert Jenkins.
Yeah, that's right. I said it. The media and the National Democratic Party's political strategy got, what's her name? Rachel Good, that white lady from Minnesota that got shot by the ICE agent. Yeah, I'm back on that again. I'm back on it again because I just learned some new information, actually, that really puts it into context. Now, I already said last week, I think it was, we talked about how I felt like it was politics that got her killed. But now, dude, the latest, you just saw this video right here. This video right here, which is linked to down below. You can watch the whole thing yourself. It's a little Twitter video. It's only a few seconds long. She said, this is her so-called wife, her girlfriend, Mrs. Good's girlfriend, said, "Why do you have real bullets?" This is after she's already shot, I guess. Now, if you can trust this video, if it's not AI, it doesn't appear to be. Nobody else is thinking it's AI. She says, "Why do you have real bullets? Why do you have real bullets? You're out in the streets playing tag and footsie with law enforcement while they're out there trying to do a an ordered mission from the lawful authorities. They're out there trying to complete a mission, and you out here playing footsie with them, and you end up apparently running your car towards somebody, and you just relying on good luck not to get shot." Somebody failed her. First person that failed her, she failed herself. She had enough things. She should have had enough things in life going for her to where she wouldn't want to be out in the streets protesting over people she don't even know. I said that last week, but I'll go further this week to say that she failed herself. Her partner failed her. If you listen to that video, her partner says, "It was my fault. It was my fault. I had her out here. I got her killed." So her partner, immediately on the scene when it happened, felt guilt. Her partner. The other thing was, "Why do you have real bullets? It was my fault." And then, what does she say at the end? Let me play it back. "Why did you have real bullets?" Oh, that's what else she said. She said, why do you have real bullets? She would never. And then she stops, she catches herself. She would never what? She never would have been out here taunting you if she knew that you had real bullets. Who told these people that they didn't have real bullets? You know what that suggests to me, y'all? That suggests to me that this organization, she was part of some anti-ICE group, some ICE watch group, and their job was to follow ICE around and harass them and make it hard for them to do their job. And it was affiliated with her son's school or her daughter's school or whatever, her kid's school. I'm talking about Good, Mrs. Good that died. Well, whoever told her and set her up to go out here and wound her up to go out here, because they call it a wind-up toy. Somebody used her as a wind-up toy. Whoever did that, whether it was some NGO, non-governmental organization, which is where all the slush funds and all the excess money that goes missing goes to them, whether it was one of them people or one of those organizations, whether it was some nonprofit somewhere, whether it was just people that she know, whoever told her that got her killed. They wound her up. That's called a wind-up toy. When the media plays all this upsetting stuff on loop over and over and over again, repeating it, pulling out talking points from it, and then knowing that the whole thing, as we now know, is set up, as I now thoroughly believe it's set up in a way. And I don't necessarily mean somebody set up these pieces of these cars and these people on this block at this time like chess pieces. I don't mean like that. They set it up by broadcasting this stuff over and over again. They set it up by not doing things, not following the law that they're supposed to follow. So I want to get into this a little bit deeper, but when I do, you'll see, man, this was a setup. I think this is a setup. a setup in the sense that it was prearranged. It's like if you take a bunch of people and douse them with I hate to get all graphic, but like say you take a bunch of people and douse them with some, you got some hamburger meat, some real bloody meat, and you douse some hamburger meat blood, beef blood on people, and then it's pit bulls over there, and you steady walking around, everybody walking around the corner don't even know it's pit bulls over there, but you done douse them with blood, and they walk around the corner. Sooner or later, somebody gonna get attacked. You set that up. You might not have did it yourself, but you made that happen. That's what I'm talking about on this. Somebody made this happen. These non-governmental organizations, this ICE Watch group, whatever they want to call themselves, they apparently told this lady that they're not going to have real bullets out there. And you're an adult and you believe that law enforcement officials are not going to have real bullets? You allowed yourself to get played. The people who set the situation up and put the pieces in place, they didn't directly set it up again. But they put the pieces all on the board knowing something going to happen. That's called a wind-up toy. Old military term or intel term, I don't know what it is. It's a wind-up toy. If you keep applying the pressure on the media and keep telling people that literal Nazis are in charge and that they're literally jackboot thugs in the street kidnapping innocent, wholesome people, oh my God, somebody is going to snap and go do something. And that's exactly what I think we see in here. And that's just despicable. People say that the ICE are agents, despots, tyrants. Trump is a dictator. Well, here's the funny thing. This is another tale. This is some more information that I learned. So the first piece of information I learned was that this video where she says it was my fault and why are you using real bullets? The second thing that I learned is that Tom Homan, who I think he's like the current ICE director, I think he's the head guy over at ICE, the federal guy up at the top over ICE. This guy has been in that job for decades, or many years, under Obama. And guess what? President Obama gave him an award. I think it's called the Civilian Tank. I forget what it's called. He gave him a high honor. You got photos. It's all on ICE website. I got the links right here. He was honored because they had a big immigration push. Because y'all do remember, don't you, that President Obama was known as the deporter in chief. He deported hundreds of thousands of people, far more than Trump has to this point. Obama holds the record, as far as I know, still holds the record for how many people he deported. And Homan, this guy that's running ICE now, was still one of the higher ups in ICE then. And he got an award for helping kick hundreds of thousands of people out of the country under Obama. So the Democrats didn't seem to have a problem when Obama was doing it. And after all, it's okay when Obama does it, right? Because, well, he looks like me. Y'all know how they say that. So people that look like me, talking about black people. It's okay for Obama to kick people out the country. CNN even did a ride along. I got the video right down here. In 2016, I think it was, CNN did a ride along praising how good ICE was and how great tactical operators they were and stuff. They ride along in the back of ICE cars, police cars and stuff with ICE doing an interview. And people will say, well, you know what? Trump is just a dictator and he just rubs me the wrong. The way he does things, the way he does it, that makes it bad. He got people out in the street. That's what people going to say. But guess what? Tom Homan, the same dude that they just gave the big award to, that Obama gave the big award to, I think it was 2016, 2015. Tom Homan, he breaks it down. He says, no, the reason we out here in the streets trying to catch illegal aliens to deport them, the reason we have to do this in streets, in the public, putting our officers at risk and the public at risk. The reason we have to do it this way, according to him, he says, actually, it's standard procedure is to hold these people in jail so that ICE can just go to the jail and pull up an armored truck or a prison van or whatever and neatly and safely load them onto that van and then take them to wherever they got to take them to and fly them out the country eventually. So in other words, you're supposed to be able to drive up to the jail, but these sanctuary cities let them out into the streets. They never hold them. That was their sanctuary cities. They want them because those people eventually become pad the population so that they can get more representatives. The House of Representatives, the National House of Representatives. The representatives are apportioned based on population. So the more illegal aliens you got, the more population you got, the more representatives you got. Bills and laws, if I'm not mistaken, my Constitution 101, I think all laws or bills have to originate in the House. which is where you get more power when you have more citizens. So, it's kind of elementary, my dear Watson. It seems to be anyway. But however, whatever the motive is, the tactics that they are using to execute this mission is what got this lady killed. Y'all set it up to where she would go out in the street and do all this protesting and stuff. And then her little girlfriend right here upset. And, oh, why did you have real bullets? Why did law enforcement officials have real bullets? Why did you believe that they wouldn't? Somebody lied to you. That's called being played. I can't even express well, first of all, I feel sad for the young lady because I say young lady, she looked older than me. I feel sad for the lady because you thought, what were you doing? Why were you risking your life out here? And you were risking your life out here for nothing and no one. And you didn't even know that you were risking your life. Somebody tragically misinformed this lady. Oh, man. But you see how they do it, though? They give Tom Homan an award under Obama for deporting so many people. They turn around and take the same guy and demonize him because he doing the same thing for Trump. And they say he's a thug for doing it the way he's doing it because Trump is a thug. He's out in the streets picking up everybody, but they won't let him pick him up in an orderly fashion out the jail. That's manipulation. Some people might call it twilight language. Some people might call it propaganda, whatever. Propaganda, yeah, sure. It's all of those things. Whatever it is, it's done on purpose. At this point, it's being done by the National Democrat Party and the media. They're playing you and me. They're turning us against each other. Because they know that if they ratchet up the pressure, if they keep it going, eventually somebody like this lady here, Miss Good, look at that, they killed Good. The media and the Democrats killed Good. That's what the real message here is to me. They used her as a wind-up toy. They kept the pressure applied from above and below. Up here in the government, they push down, and from the streets, they push up. Agitate, the politicians and the agitators working together to achieve a goal. As above, so below. You know? And they certainly achieved something. They made a martyr here. I think that's what they wanted. They wanted a martyr. They want you to kill yourself for them. They don't care about you, but they sure will use your death to stoke up hostilities and tension. And I, for one, that's why I don't really watch too much TV. I, for one, I don't like being played like that. I don't like people riling me up and using my emotions. See, if they can get you to using your emotions instead of your mind, if they can get you to react and think and react and feel instead of think, they got you. That's half of what propaganda is. It's just a way to push your buttons. You know what I'm saying? And I, for one, am glad here in Lubbock, we don't seem to be worried about that too much. We got some passions run high over things, but for the most part, we are, I don't know, I think it's because we're an island here, and we know we out on this island, this great island on the plains, the Caprock, High Plains Island. We know we out here pretty much by ourselves. So I think we have enough sense to know you got to count on each other, and you can't be getting too crazy. You can't be acting too crazy like that. Now, it's a lot of tensions and stuff below the surface. I'm sure there are everywhere. But then again, everybody here at this point still seems to know, hey man, these are your neighbors. You know, treat your neighbor like yourself. You know, that old chestnut. I don't know where that came from. Treat your neighbor like you treat yourself. Well, that still seems to be in effect here in Lubbock, in the LBK, Lubbock, Texas, USA. I'm really glad that's true here. That's one of the reasons that we moved back. We've been gone for, y'all know the story, 25 years, and then just came back about 3 years ago, and 3 or 4. It was about 3. We came back because it was quiet and sane, and we needed that after COVID. We went through COVID in a place where they acted like just ridiculous. Like they acted like tyrants. Won't let you get your nails did if you ain't got your vaccination and stuff. All kind of like you second class citizens. You know what I'm saying? But isn't it a pity? Now this is what gets me and what kind of trips me out about this strategy that the National Democrat Party seems to be using. They seem to think this is going to get them some votes or some kind of power. They getting power off this lady's death, which is, by the way, the very definition of a human sacrifice. You sacrifice somebody so you can get something good in return. something good in return. Wow, that name keeps popping up. They sacrificed her so they could get something good in return. They knew that somebody was gonna die. They pushing it. They egging it on. They try, and I'm just like I say, I'm just begging people here in the LBK, let us stay neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Let's me and you and anybody out there hearing this or seeing this, man. That let's you and I remain cordial. Let's you and I actually coexist. I said last week, and I mean it. The people that use them coexist stickers, they seem to be the ones that's hardest to coexist with. I'm talking about let's me and you really coexist though, not like that. I'm talking about for real. Let's coexist. Let's be cool. You know why? Because none of this stuff don't really concern it. I mean, I have a friend who was in some jeopardy because of this ICE situation, but the real message in that story is they should have done it the right way too. That's my friend, and I'm just gonna be honest. You know, when you break the law, you gotta understand at some point that could be used against you. That could be somebody might enforce that. Somebody might care about that at some point. So that's why you got to do things properly. I don't know. For the most part, we seem to understand that here in Lubbock, Texas, USA, our fair, flat city. Seem to be pretty level-headed, just like the cotton fields all around us. But yeah, man, I think that was just tragedy, and it was totally preventable tragedy, and it was a human sacrifice that was used to gain political power, and they think that's gonna help them, I guess. And well, it don't help them with me. I put it like that. Don't help them at all with me. Yeah, I think those are my thoughts on that, LBK. If you think something different, or if you got a different take on it, or if you got some more evidence or something I ain't seen, man, leave a link down here in the comment section, or just hit me up in the comment section. You can say I'm a knucklehead, I'm crazy, or you can say, yo, that was deep, I agree, whatever. Say what you feel, express yourself. Yeah, for real. All right, LBK, I just wanted to let y'all know how tragic that was. Politics and the media killed Renee Good. Politics and the media killed the good. Well, hate to close it like that, but I don't know how to take it back uphill from there. So I will just leave you with the thought of, hey, man, maybe don't be out there messing around with people that have guns, because guess what? They probably will have real bullets, and maybe your life is valuable and your friends and family need you. So, yeah, how about that? Maybe stay home and just be cool. You know what I'm saying? Peace.